Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Nanny and I love to cook. But today I would like to talk to you about something a little different. You know, we are living in some uncertain times now, and we have a lot of people that are prepping for uncertain times. They're storing up large quantities of basic needs. And today I'd like to talk about something that is very important, that's easy to store, and it's very inexpensive too. So today we're going to talk about sprouting. Sprouting is a very simple, easy way to do, and you can have lots of nutrients from these sprouting because you can sprout grains and beans and nuts and seeds, and you just soak them in water, and they're very little care too. So when you sprout seeds, and I've got several different kind of combinations here that you can sprout, or you can just sprout plain alfalfa seeds, or it doesn't have to be the combination of them. But when you sprout them, they explode in nutrients, in vitamins and minerals and proteins. And you know, there's a story that thousands of years ago, sailors were on long voyages delivering items, and they would come down with what's called scurvy, and it's a disease that is a lack of vitamin C. And they found out that if they would sprout the greens or the grain that was on this particular shipment, if they sprouted them, it increased the vitamin C in them, and it cured them from scurvy. And scurvy was nothing to mess with. It's a very painful disease, and it is also could be deadly too. So that's just one of the many, many stories about sprouting. So you can grow sprouts year round. You don't have to rely on the spring or summer. You can do it inside your home. But I want to give you one caution on sprouting. Since sprouting is a fresh food, in fact it goes from a bean or a grain or nuts or seeds to a vegetable after it's sprouted. But sprouting has also been linked with food poisoning. Now, I would never buy sprouts from the grocery store. I don't feel safe doing that. But if you ever do, and if you see or feel that the sprouts are slimy, or if they're smelly, throw them away. Don't take a chance on them. And like I said, I always sprout my own because it's fun and it's easy. It's fun to watch them grow. And sprouts also contain low levels of what's called anti-nutrients. Anti-nutrients interfere with the body's absorption of nutrients. So today I want to show you 2 jars of sprouts that I've started. These are mung beans, and these are about 4 or 5 days old here. And you know, mung beans are used a lot in Oriental foods. And then this one is a combination of, they call it a salad mix. And this has just been going for about 24 hours. And can you see the little sprouts that are coming out in them? And in 4 or 5 days, you can eat these sprouts. And after 4 or 5 days, be sure to keep them in the refrigerator too. So I'm going to give you just a quick little demonstration on what you need to sprout. You need a jar, you'll need a canning ring, you'll need some mesh, and some citric acid, and last is water. Now to begin with, I use purified, or you could use distilled water when I sprout, because we're on city water that has some chemicals in it, and also we had a water softener, so I don't use the tap water. But you just pour your water in a sterilized jar. Make sure it's clean. Then we add our sprouts. Let's try this. Let's do the salad mix today. Now, I will tell you a little bit about where you can get sprouts. You can get these from either a natural food store, or I order mine from Amazon, and I always look for the non-GMO sprouts. Okay, see these tiny seeds? We're going to put 2 tablespoons of that in here. Now, as far as the lid goes, like I said, you use a canning lid, or if you have an empty dill pickle juice jar, you can scrub it good and sterilize it, and then just poke holes in the lid with it if you don't want to use this. Now, you can buy sprouting jars, but they're very expensive. So we have always done our own. My husband would cut, I don't know if you can see this is screen wire, and he cuts these out for me that I can put in the ring. And another way you could do it is with these craft meshes. Now, you can get these in the craft department, and they're used for needlepoint and things like that. But you can cut circles of these. And if you find the holes are too large, you can use 2 of these and kind of place it so it would make the opening smaller, and just put a drop of glue in there, and that will make this a smaller opening. Okay, we're just going to put that in here in the ring, and we're going to put the lid on it, and we're going to shake it up good. And at this point, you want to leave this on the countertop with the water in it for about 8 to 10 hours. After that, you drain this water off, and all you have to do is turn this upside down and it'll drain the water off. And then rinse it 2 times with the purified or distilled water, and drain the water off each time. After you do that, you will just have your seeds that are wet with moisture now, but drain as much of that water off as you can. Then every day for about 4 or 5 days, you want to do the water added to it, shake it good, drain it, do that 2 times a day. And I will have these instructions for you on how to do this. And then after a few days, you will see these luscious sprouts. This is a great way to do a little science project with your kids or your grandparents. Or if you're the grandparent. So now then, one other thing that I always add to it, because we talked about we want it to be safe. We don't want to take a chance of food poisoning. Every time I rinse mine, I put in about 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid. And what this does is keeps it from getting rancid or poisonous. So that's something that I always do to mine. Now, a reminder, the first day you leave it in water for about 8 to 10 hours. After that, you only rinse with water. Okay, now how can you use these sprouts? Well, there's lots of ways that you can use sprouts. One of them is you can eat them raw, just like a salad. And another way is I've made a little salad here that I'll put the recipe online for you, where we just have some marinated onions and some lettuce, tomatoes, some sprouts, and then top it off with a few toasted pine nuts. It makes a great nutritious salad. Also, you can use sprouts in wraps or on sandwiches. Excuse me. You can also cook with them. You can put them in stir fries. You could add them to soups or top a pizza with them. There's lots of ways that you can get this excellent nutrient in your body and to feed it to your family. My husband and I, we have sprouted for several years, and I cannot tell you the last time either one of us have had a cold. So I'm thinking that the sprouting does contribute because it's high in vitamin C. So I want to thank you for joining us today. And one other thing, if you would like to learn some more about sprouting, this is a great book. It's called The Sprout Book, and it is written by Doug Evans. It's very easy to understand, specific instructions on how to sprout. It has some great recipes in it, and this book is available on Amazon. And there's also a lot of other books that you can get on sprouting. So that's what I have for you today. I sure hope you'll try sprouting. I can't emphasize enough what a valuable nutrition element that sprouting can be to your nutrition. So I hope you have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.